We will bring down the interest rates on mortgages, but we will use the NHT money to build housing rather than to take it back to go pay the IMF. Your money that you save for house should be available to you to build house, repair your house, improve your house, and buy land. The Jamaica Labour Party makes that commitment to you. But there are over 300 housing developments just sitting there. Can't happen. You know why? No water. So if you invest in water, make water supply accessible and reliable, then people will start to build house and housing development. You know what that means? It means jobs in the construction sector for our unemployed. And that means more man, I get more pay, so he can take care of his baby mother or his wife. That he can save up, buy him a little car, start throw partner again. But this is what growth means. Is when your household economy grows, the Jamaican economy grows. Is when you can do better in your house. Is when your banana tree, instead of having one, have 2, 3, 4, 5 because you have water, it can grow. Is when your melon get bigger because it have more water. So when you put it on the scale, you're getting more. That's what we mean when we say the economy grow. And that's what the Jamaica Labour Party wants to do. We want to grow Jamaica from poverty to...
Interesting. First and foremost, give thanks and praise to the mystic laws of the universe and its protective functions and forces in nature that guide our thoughts and our path in all ways that are lawful, correct, and positive. Well, this is one of those old tapes of the Prime Minister. And when you listen to the narrative, he might tell you, say, I use the National Housing Trust money for what it was there for, which is to help you who are the grantors and beneficiaries of that National Housing Trust. However, I won't stay too long out here. Me just have after the usual informative discussion with our First Lady, some very serious question came about that will really need to be answered. The best person to answer these questions is none other than the Prime Minister, Andrew Holiness. So, I put it to you, Mr. Holiness. The National Housing Trust, NHT, was created to increase and enhance the stocks of available housing in Jamaica, as well as to provide financial assistance to those who need support to build, buy, or repair their homes. With the aforementioned said, how did we get to a place where the National Housing Trust is able to invest, listen to this, people, $230 million in SSL, that very failed, fraudulent security exchange business? The fraud scandal hit agency where the FBI has now been called in to assist with investigating the massive fraud that has been uncovered at this agency, where you, Mr. Prime Minister, invest $230 million of the People's National Housing Trust money. Interesting. Interesting. We have hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans who would love to own their own homes and cannot afford to do so, but National Housing Trust has millions to invest. We don't get it. Prime Minister and Your Holiness, you need to make this make sense. Yeah, man. The National Housing Trust is a deduction funded agency. So the money you collect from contributors does not belong to you and Your Holiness nor your cronies. How can such a decision be made to invest such an enormous amount of money without knowledge of the contributors, Mr. Prime Minister and Your Holiness? Contributing to the National Housing Trust is mandatory. I therefore think that the contributors should have a say in what happens with the funds that is deducted from their salaries. Listen, them thing have some interesting question. How Anjo and it has a cabinet and financial advisors are going to take up the National Housing Trust money where belongs to the people and choose to invest it in a SSL. Then now, and not only Usain Bolt alone lose big right here. It seemed like the government were invest the people's money from them housing trust fund. Probably lose a lot of money too. So people, I get to understand, say, after, what was it? After 7 years, when you pay into the housing trust, after a period of, I'm not sure if it's 7 years, you should get a refund of everything that you have paid into the housing trust since you never use none of it. The housing trust are not insurance where you just pay insurance and nothing happen to you. You're not getting an accident and no returns come back to you. The housing trust is not an insurance company. But when you lack knowledge, when you don't have the information, however, a man like me, I only can scratch the surface and share the basics. You know what I mean? So probably one of the time I can have our first lady come out here and chant with us, share some information if she so choose. I doubt it though. And everybody really like to show off themselves probably like me. But it would be interesting, truly. Anyway, people, the item of look into the National Housing Trust, look at how them are use the monies that's there. Because if you can't get access to your money, I don't think the government should just take up monies when it belongs to them and invest it in these fraudulent shell companies, these security exchange, you know? You just a front, because it's always a front when it not really operate lawfully. Simple question, Sir and Joe Holiness. I keep it real brief. And we say gratitude. Real brief. Why are you investing over 200 million of the National Housing Trust money? Why even mess with that money when people want house to live and them must say they're not qualified? We need answers, man. So we need the FBI to scrutinize even your activities. We need probably a forensic audit of the government of Jamaica, and by extension, all contracts associated. We rest our case.